Hello, hello. Well, it is the 20th of August, and we are still working on our scene here. Well, I had a little boo boo today. I don't know if this has ever happened to any of you, but I was tipping my monitor toward to tip it properly, and it fell toward at my Wacom, hit my Wacom, and I thought it was it damaged the screen, my monitor that I'm looking at here. And I didn't know, like, wow, is that going to show up in the video? And this is one of the things that I like about Chat GPT is that it saves you in answering questions that you would have. And so I asked Chat GPT about it, what it could mean. It didn't crack the screen, but it affected the LCDs behind the screen. Now I may have to have my screen replaced, or at any rate, it looks like it might cost me a couple of $100, which kind of sucks. But what was the most valuable thing was that it told me that it doesn't affect what you all see, and that was what I was concerned about. I don't like the look of it. Obviously, I want to get it fixed. I don't really like the idea of spending a couple of $100 to fix the thing. But if this ever happens to you, and you do happen to have Chat GPT on your computer, it's a wonderful tool because whereas you might go into a place to get things fixed and you have questions, a lot of times in these services, they take advantage of you just getting information about what you want to have fixed, whereas ChatGPT can answer that question for you for free. So I realized that even though I've got an appointment today at Best Buy's to take my monitor over there and see what they're going to tell me, I'm very thankful that I have ChatGPT to tell me what to expect because that will save me money. And in fact, it might even, I think in some ways I might even be thinking that I might not do anything about this. But we'll see. We'll see. It just depends on one, whether I can afford it, two, what they're going to tell me, which will tell me a lot about how honest they're going to be. So all of that's important stuff. Anyways, I thought I'd take a moment to share that with you. We're artists. We're not necessarily techies. Of course, some of you young folks are probably a lot more tech savvy about this kind of stuff than older guys like myself. But whether you're knowledgeable or not, it's good to know that ChatGPT can be at least helpful to you, the average Joe out there. So, all right. Well, anyways, we are working on Miguel still. We're up to this level here. Let's see. I'll turn off the onion skin, and then we'll just go to the top layer to do our new line. We got to make sure we're set for a solid line. Clean up. Miguel is primarily a dark line. Take it up to 100%, and we can come in here and start inking. So there we go. Yeah. Anyways, boy, I tell you, so much fun. All right, let's see. There we go. There we go. There we go. When you're at this stage in your scenes where you're just doing clean line or you're painting or something, boy, this is nice because for me, and it always has been this way even before I was using the computer to do stuff like I am now. This part of production was for me always kind of the one of the better parts because I always liked this because I could kind of turn my brain off a little bit and just concentrate on just the careful work. And it wasn't. It was easier. I could, for instance, with something like this, I could listen to music, or let's say if you like listening to podcasts or audiobooks or things like that. When you're working, uh, when you're working on this kind of stuff, where you're just doing cleanups, in betweens, painting, it's just so much easier to do to listen to music, things like that, when you're doing this kind of work, because you're not having to concentrate on trying to figure out something. The process of animating, where you're thinking about what the character is doing, that's where you really can't um, have two things going on at once. You're The process of thinking through a scene and figuring out how your character is moving from one position to another, that requires your attention. That requires your undivided attention. Whereas when you're doing something like this, where you're just putting lines, uh, going over a line and making it clean, or even doing an in-between drawing, it's not. It doesn't require the same type of concentration. And in the process of animating, where you're already doing a lot of work, um, I always enjoyed this part because, in a sense, it was kind of a relaxation for me, really. Kind of. It was the part of the work where I felt that I could kind of coast, you know, that there wasn't the same kind of urgency in doing the job as there was when I was animating. So, so I really kind of looked forward to this part of the job, because um, it was easier to navigate it, much easier. So, I wonder if I should use. Let's see. Maybe we'll use the straight line. Yeah, got to remember to go back to. Okay, so 100. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So, yeah. Wait a minute. I got the right color on him? Yeah, I think so. Oh, so yeah, the darkness on his lips. Oh, okay. Is that right? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so then that's going to be his lips here, right? Okay, the hair is black. Uh, right. Okay, so this would be the shirt. Right. We set behind. We are set behind. Okay. All right. Right. So this is also brown. Right. This should be that color. Uh, that's the light color. That's black. What am I missing? I think it's this color. Right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So, yeah. And yeah, I know I could copy paste the color in there. Like the head here. I could do that. I really, actually, to be honest, it's like even though that's a nice way to save time, I don't know. For me, I like the whole tracing of, yeah. I don't know. It's like I don't want to miss out on the care that I could say put into tracing this head. Even though I could probably just copy the whole thing with the color and everything. I don't know. That just I don't know. It might be partly because I've been doing it being more thorough my whole life as a animator, and that's maybe coloring how I do it. That's probably true. Because you get accustomed to doing things a certain way, so then it's habitual. You know, and even when you can save time, you still go ahead and you put in the extra effort. I don't know. Yeah. Just because there's something about it, the quality of putting the extra effort in means something to you. Yeah. And it should mean something to you, you know. Um, I despise laziness. I, I mean, I've been lazy as anybody would be lazy or could be lazy. Lord knows there's plenty of times that you don't want to do things that you kind of know you should do. But I don't know. I think you need to have some discipline. There are times when, maybe you're pretty beat and you just, for whatever reason, you just don't feel like putting in the effort. But I think that's a huge mistake. This is where I believe that the AI and what have you, um, see, it's not going to be the AI's fault if we let it take over everything. It's going to be our fault for letting it take over everything. If you don't contribute anything and you just let the AI do everything, it'll do something because that's what it's designed to do, but it can't. Now, it can learn, and it is learning, but, you know, it's all, it's only going to take over if we let it take over. That's really it. There's a lot of factors that we can't control. You know, one of the things that I think we probably need to pay attention to with AI is who's controlling the AI. You know, um, yeah, because the AI is being programmed by people who probably don't have our best interests at heart. Now, the AI, because it's connected to the knowledge, the internet, information, it's going to be as accurate as it can be because it is designed to be accurate. However, um, oops, what's going on here? However, you're going to be limited. You're still going to be somewhat. Oops, looks like we're getting a little issue here. What's going on there? Hmm, something's going in. That's not good. Oh, okay. It's back. I was having some pin issues there. Hmm. All right. Something's going in. I wonder if this has to do with my screen issues here. There's a little flashing there. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, something's going on. Okay. Something is not right. Something's not right. Alright, it's playing. Well, not exactly sure what's going on here. Something is not right. Might have something to do with my screen being a little wonky. Alright, well, let's see. I may have to get out of this and see what we have to do to fix it. I think I'm having some issues. Alright, well, we'll see what's what. I'm going to stop my video here because it's acting weird. And it might have something to do with